So we got a serious problem on our hands. Do you guys see what this is? This means fall is right around the corner, and that means I'm about to be out of business. Rivers are gonna get filled up with fish, and that's gonna attract all the fishermen and the treble hooks, the fishing lures, and then the rain's shortly gonna follow. Rivers are gonna get blown out, and I'm out of business. So we're at a new spot today. Kind of did some online research of where I could be diving, so we found a big hole right here. There's a hatchery above the road, so it looks like it might have potential. Never dove it, have no expectations, but there has to be something in there, so we'll hop in and check it out. So we all know that under the hood of the car is the most valuable component. So in this case, the stinky wetsuit is definitely the most valuable component here. We're rocking the 5'4" today. Water's probably a little cold, but it'll have to do. Got about a 5-minute hike down, and it is a steep hike. Oh, as I absolutely just slip and almost annihilate my back. We got wifey joining the assignment today. Should be 2 of us. Should be a quick mission because there's still a couple other spots I'm trying to hit today.
Got it.
First lure found. 20 seconds into the hike and special assignment is live. So we'll see you guys in the water. Not sure what's going on there, but there's 2 people who look like they're moving out after 6 months of rent-free living. Welcome back underwater, and like always, thanks for tuning in. One thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video is that this is a gear recovery video. So what I do is I dive rivers that get fished hard, and I recover lost fishing gear, whether that's lures, weights, or cleaning up really big snags that have accumulated over the years. This is a win for everybody across the board because me as a fisherman, I get some good quality gear out of it. Like in this video, you'll see later on, I get a lot of good quality jigs and other fishing lures. Also, I get to find cool stuff like this ring every now and then, phones, Apple Watches, drones, etc. Also, you're cleaning up the river. I try to take any trash I find with me. And lastly, all the big snags, once they're cleared out, they prevent from snags just getting bigger, so fishermen don't get snagged up on it. I don't get snagged up on it when I fish these holes. So W's all across the board. I got my wifey with me too, so this also is considered a date night. Really cool, fun dive here. Nothing too snaggy or crazy. We did find some weird artifacts and different stuff underwater, but in terms of snag, it wasn't that productive. Here's a little egg sac from a salmon. So we dove around here for a little bit longer, and we went on to the next spot. Nothing special on that haul. We got a couple things. I don't know why all the batteries were there. Found the ring. Looks like a cheap ring. Typical millennial activities. That's it for this hole. Obviously that spot was not the move. That's why I kind of like going to places that I've fished, or I for sure know there's snags in there, because kind of wasting time. But whatever, it's still cool to check out. I have another spot on the way back. We've hit it a couple months ago, but I didn't hit it all the way through, so we're gonna come back right now, hit it a little harder. I think there should definitely be some more stuff laying around in there. Definitely dive with a new blink for good luck on this next one. We're at spot number 2. See you guys in the water. I don't know if you guys could notice in the previous clips where I'm talking and in the car, if you pay attention, my speech is like slurred and I'm like stuttering and I'm missing words. It's all because I'm just frozen. One thing I think I don't talk about often is how cold I am on these dives, especially when I wear my 5'4" suit. So I have my dive suit, which is a 7mm and it's a 2-piece, and the material is completely different. It absorbs to your body differently, but these surf suits, they also are built differently, so they're not really meant to keep you warm when it comes to diving. When you spend time underwater and the water's cold and you're not moving too much, like, you freeze really hard. So I think I'm definitely going to need to get a 5mm dive suit, because a 7 is just a little too hot. But actually I would have been fine for this river because it was 54 degrees in this water, and I don't know if anyone knows what water temperature is like. 54 is really cold and it's really unpleasant. So even this dive, I had to get out. Well, I kind of cleared everything out, but also I was just straight up shaking towards the end. So this is a common occurrence with diving, even spearfishing. Even in my thick suits, after a couple hours when you're in the freezing water, it doesn't matter how good your gear is, you just start violently shaking and the cold gets to you regardless, whether that's through your face, your hands, feet. Eventually your whole body is just freezing. But besides from the complaining, as you guys could tell, this spot is loaded with gear. You kind of have to be a little attentive. It's not just like splattered all over the place and there's big snags. You kind of have to look carefully in between rocks. Sometimes it's easy, they're just out like this, but otherwise you just see little shiny slivers of whatever, and you dig a little deeper, and surely enough, like brand new lures right under the mud. Really surprised. So this was really cool. This was a steelhead that looks like he was maybe blind in his right eye. And I got a jig out that I just found, and I wanted to see if he would bite it. And then I realized that I could hook this fish in the mouth. Like right there, I could have hooked him easily. But honestly, I just felt bad. First of all, because I just assumed, basing off what his eye looked like, he was blind and that he wasn't moving. Usually they're so skittish that he wouldn't let me get that close to him. So I was like, man, that would have been the coolest video ever if I could just hook that fish underwater and brought him in. But then, I don't know. First of all, I'm pretty sure that's considered snagging. Second of all, he looks like he's already had a long life. That's not how I would want to see him go. So, still made for a pretty cool clip, but I'm sure a lot of people would have loved to see me set that hook in and bring him to the surface. But maybe one day I will, when it's more of a fair fight. But another thing I like to touch on in these gear recovery videos is the dangers that come with it. I know these videos look very appealing, especially to a fisherman, when I'm diving and just finding all these jigs and lures, and it is cool. I enjoy doing it a lot, especially when they're like this and they're such nice high quality jigs. But another thing I don't want to see happening is someone watching these videos just hopping into their local hole, sticking their hands all over the place, and then you stick your hand in a hole, there's just a big bundle of hooks, your hand gets stuck in it, and then you just can't pull yourself out. And I'm diving on nothing but just my lungs, so no scuba tanks, no nothing. So you're relying to as long as your breath will allow you to stay down here, and things can go south very quick. I always try to dive with a buddy. In this case, I had my wife watching over me from the surface, even though she's not in the water. There's a lot of dangers that do come with this, and people die from free diving and being underwater every year, thousands of them. So it's not something to mess around with. Your life is not worth a couple of free jigs, so just keep that in mind when you're watching these videos.
Vlad has been diving for like an hour already. Man just doesn't know when to stop. Yep. How does he not get tired? Oh my gosh, there he goes again. Okay, well, we'll be here for a little bit.
At this point in my gear recovery career, I could definitely be owning a tackle shop.
Oh my gosh.
You can't tell what's going on, but there's a lot of goodies in there.
Looks like a lot of goodies from here. Something Gucci.
It's definitely not Gucci. It's more like Moochie.
Alright, we can work with that.
Oh gosh, I'm so cold.
You look funny.
Alright guys, so I did what I do best. We got today's haul lined up. A lot of quality jigs. I was surprised. Most of the stuff I found looks like it's been lost within the last couple months. Some of it's like brand new. Like this guy had to have been lost yesterday or something. A lot of jigs. Big jig spot. I'm really starting to stack up on some lures that I don't really need. Here's this Notorious stick. So we're definitely getting a little out of control here. But you guys already know, big dogs gotta eat.